or whether or not I was going to come back on or not. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna come on. And this time, I decided to go back to writing in my notebook of what I want to talk about, so I can try to keep track. So the other day, me and a coworker, we were speaking about how much breaks are needed at work. Not even just regular breaks, but just like vacation time. How it's very, it's something that's very much needed. Um, we spend so much of our lives working and being busy. A lot of times I'm watching people wander around, touching stuff, just doing things, always trying to keep busy. Even when their mind is not right, they're still wandering around doing things, trying to keep busy because they don't have nothing else to do. And I just be sitting back thinking like, I wonder if this person ever just took time out for themselves, or if they just sat alone for some time just to know just to know what it feels like to just be with self for a second. Um, I don't know. There was a place I used to work at, and I remember asking this lady, like, "Why don't you ever sit down?" Because this lady was always walking around when she would eat standing up. She'll watch TV standing up. She'll read standing up. She'll rest her eyes in a corner standing up. Now that's something that she did. She would be in a corner, but she'll be resting with her eyes closed, standing up. And I'm like, what? So just when it came to this lady sleeping, I don't know if she like laid down or she just stayed up, whatever she did, but I do know that she used to have a lot of falls. And she used to have like bruises and stuff like that. So I'm thinking if she was sleeping and standing up, she probably would fall a few times. I don't know. But just thinking about talking about all this, it's like we have to learn how to slow down and take times for ourselves, whether it's just like a few hours of sleep that we get, if it's like a self-care day, if it's like a movie day, or just like some simple stillness, like I said, for one to just connect with self. Even prayer and reading the Bible is also a way that you can just take a break just to have that moment. And I do understand that a lot of people are not comfortable with self. They don't know how to sit in silence. A lot of people say that when they sit in silence, they get confronted with thoughts or things that they at one point in time try to push in the back of their mind and try to forget about, but it's like it always comes back up. So they don't like to be they don't like to be in silence. They don't like to be by themselves. But it's very helpful when you do learn how to do that. Silly J, hello. And Dylan Perez, hi. Oh, I don't know Spanish. Let me see. No, no habla española. If that's even if that's something I don't know, but I don't know Spanish. Levi Brooks, hi. How y'all doing? So I'm just on here talking about how we need to take breaks for ourselves when working, whatever we do in life. It's like we just always need to have a break. We need to take a break for ourselves to wind down and get that moment with self, so we can just have that moment of relaxation. Because doing too much all the time, it will burn you out, and you just don't know what to do with yourself. Then you end up getting to a point where you're doing so much to where it's like you never know how to stop. Even when you try to, you just keep going and going and going and going. I don't know. Let me see. Where did I stop at? So yeah, some say that silence forces them to be with their thoughts, and sometimes those thoughts can be heavy depending on what they're about. Um, I would even say a lot of times that things that you may think about are, like I said, they're buried in the back of your head, and for the time being, you try to forget about it, but all of a sudden it's going to pop back up. So depending on what it's about, and it could be good or bad. If you want to think about it, or if you don't want to, it's still going to be there regardless. So I do understand that part. And that's okay. Because even if that thought or whatever, it pops up, let it pop up. You think about it. You recognize it. You accept it. No, I'm saying it backwards. It pops up, you accept it, you recognize it for what it is. You can dwell on it a little bit, then just let it go. Don't let it stay there. Just let it go. Yeah, and you'll be fine with that. I sometimes struggle with that because I'll think about it and it just stays there, and I'm like, oh man. And no matter how much I try to get out of my head, I can't do it. And when I do, all of a sudden, like eventually it comes back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. I don't know, but it'll be all right. Um, this also takes me into with reading the Bible, it takes me into the Sabbath too, how in 6 days God made heaven and earth and he rested on the seventh day. He blessed it and he made it holy. So it's like even in the Bible is stating that it's like, okay, God rested on the seventh day. So he blessed it, made it holy. So he meant for us to, rest on that seventh day too. So it's like it's something that we should be doing. That's I was going to read it, but I'm not going to read it. But that's Genesis chapter, what is it? Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 to 31. And it continues in Genesis chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. I don't know. So with that, I find that sometimes, like during the day, not even during the day, I'm skipping ahead. So I can have a whole restful night. At least I feel like I had a restful night. And then once I wake up in the morning, I'm still fine. But once I get to work, it's like it's like this heaviness of this sleepiness just comes over me, and I'm like, why am I so tired? And I'm like yawning, and everybody's like, oh, you tired? You didn't get enough rest? I'm like, no, I went to sleep early. I don't know why I'm yawning. I don't know why I'm tired. I sometimes be thinking, oh, maybe I'm just tired of this job, whatever it is. It could be that, but then I don't know. I just take it as, I don't know, maybe God is talking to me, telling me, I need to rest or I need to lay down so he can tell me something. I don't know. But even for that, and as I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, like what is going on with me? I found a verse with that. So whenever something is going on with me and I start wondering like, I wonder why this is going on. I wonder why this is happening, whatever it is. There's always, I don't know what nobody said, but whatever's going on, there's always a verse in the Bible that you can go to that's going to tell you about something. So there's never an excuse to where, I wonder why this is blah 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 blah. Well, I don't know. Just because, no, it's not just because. There's an answer for everything. Answer for everything. So for that one, for my tiredness, that was, what was that? Psalms chapter 127, verse 2. And that says, in vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat, for he grants sleep to those he loves. So I'm like, okay, so he loves me. God loves me, so he wants me to rest. He wants me to get my beauty sleep. He wants to talk to me. I don't know. But even with that sleep, once I wake up from it, I find that it's like I can't even explain it. It's like it's so peaceful. It's like it's rejuvenating. I don't know. I'd be smiling all day. I'd be like happy, and it's just like whatever it was good. It was great, and I thank God for it. I'm very thankful for it. Even when reading the Bible, I get like that too. I can just open the Bible, and I'm into like one or two verses, and then I get sleepy. I'm like, how am I getting sleepy? Like before that, I was awake. I was fine. I was watching TV. I was eating. I was doing this. I was up cooking. Whatever I was doing, I was fine. But as soon as I opened the Bible and I started reading one or two verses, I started to get sleepy. And I used to always say, "Oh, this is the devil. This ain't nothing but the devil. He don't want me to read. He don't want me to read the Bible." But then I'm like, no. Once again, maybe it's God. He wants to talk to me. So I go back to that verse again. And what is it? Psalms chapter 127, verse 2. It's like, okay. He grants sleep to those he loves. Well, rest to those he loves. So I'm like, all right, he's granting me a restful night because I was obedient and my intention was pure of heart. I wanted to read the word, but then, just got tired. I don't know. Which is good. I don't see nothing wrong with that. It also makes me think too about when people be in church and they be falling asleep. And then you got other church members trying to wake them up, talking about you shouldn't be sleeping in church. It's like maybe they should. Maybe they should be sleeping. It's okay for them to sleep because we don't know what they've been going through either the week before, just a few hours before, just throughout that day before they got to church. We don't know what they were going through. So it's like now that they're in church, it's like they're still present. They're in the midst of other churchgoers and stuff, but they're just asleep. So just let them sleep because once again in Psalms, what is that, chapter 127, verse 2, it says, "In vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat, and he grants sleep to those who he loves." And then, what is it, in Matthew chapter 18, verse 20? I'm not even going to try to say that from the top of my head because I don't even know what that is. I'm going to take a second and try to find it in here to see what is it. Matthew chapter 18. Chapter 18. Verse 20. For where two or what is it? For where two or three gather in my name, there I am in the midst of them. So even when people falling asleep in church, God is still there. So they're still being ministered to. Their spirit is being their spirit is being ministered to, even though they're asleep. So that's fine too. Because like I said, we don't know what type of battle they had before they got to church. They could have been arguing with somebody. They could have been arguing with the kids to come to church, or they could have just came from the hospital. We don't know. It could be anything. It could be anything. I don't know. I know that's something that I wanted to come on here and talk about. Earlier too, I was reading, and it was something about the conviction when you're reading the Bible that I wanted to talk about, where it's just like you might be thinking about something and it leads you to one verse, and then that verse is going to lead you to another one, and it's like each verse is talking to you, and it's like it's almost like it's disciplining you. It's disciplining you, telling you what you did wrong, or just having you rethink about the things that you do, or something that's happened, or something like that. I don't know what made me. Let me see. I don't know. Maybe I'll save that and come back on here and talk about it another time because I really can't remember what it was that made me think about that. But I know part of it was while I be reading, it's just certain things that be standing out, and I be feeling like I'm being scolded by God, and I'm like, oh man, like, are you serious? Like, oh, that's crazy. Then sometimes I gotta just close the Bible for a second and just, I might even take a second and cry because I'm like, I feel so bad and I feel so guilty. Like, wow, that's crazy. But I mean, it's life changing and it's beneficial and it's very good. It helps you be a better person, make some changes that you may need in your life. Sometimes we may think that we don't need changes, but we definitely need changes. At one point in time, I would have had thought, I don't need to change that and I'm fine. But no, there was some changes that I needed to do. But that's all I wanted to talk about for now. So I guess I'll be back on. I'm probably not going to come back on later. I'll probably post something up. One of those, what do you call them? They're like 15, 20, 30-second posts. It's like scriptures that I put up. Might come on for one of those, but that's about it. Your wig is nice. Well, thank you very much. That is too funny. That is too funny. I don't know Spanish. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Like I said, maybe tomorrow. I'll be back on tomorrow, not tonight. So, talk to you guys later.